we've got conversion kits, okay? So there's 3 games here. We've got Rudy, the FunHouse conversion kit for Rudy's Nightmare. We've got Tales of the Arabian Nights conversion kit that's called The Forgotten Tales, and then No Good Gofers kit that's called Battle for the Green. Okay, so these are 3 kits that people built using our Fast Retro boards. So basically by putting our board in there, it modernizes the interface to write code against and create whatever game you want. It's like, it turns that pinball playfield into like a theater stage. It's like, set up, tell a new story on the same stage, and that's where we found ourselves just kind of in that supporting role again, like building potential. You know, everything that Dave and I have done for so long is like helping people create great things, but seeing people create on these original playfields is fantastic. We all know these games super well, but seeing new stories told on them it's exciting.
Yeah, for me, it's all about, I don't get to really do much. I just look forward to playing in the 2.0 games. So, I mean, that's for me the big win. But the hard part for the 2.0 games for us is the timing. Getting the timing. What was the original game doing? Right. You know, we had so many issues where it's like, wait a minute, this isn't playing quite right. And then we realized the first pulse of a coil is different than the second one. It did something gentle, and then all of a sudden, like, oh my God, it didn't get out of the UK, let's give it more power. And these are the things I have to look forward and look forward to diagnosing and stuff. So if it's working great, I feel I did good on the 2.0 games.
Well, that's the thing too, is it's not like, here's the things you need to do to make it feel great. A lot of it is like, in theory, you get what should be done, you implement it, you're like, it's close. But then you start digging down, reading closer, reading signals, like pulse times, everything. It's like that fine tuning, that finessing is like, as you go from platform to platform, you kind of learn a bunch more, implement it, and then there'll be another nuance thing that comes up. So I just kind of sit back and watch Dave like tune all that stuff up. Eli gets the emulation, working it from the other side, and like I sit there and like, I'll update the boards and play test it. So I mean, that's my role in it. But like, it is so amazing to see these guys do this stuff because we haven't run into anything we couldn't do yet. It might be like a surprise here and there or something, but like, man.
Although the forebearers on some of this stuff, like leaving diodes out of games and code around them and all these things, it's almost like this discovery path that we go down to try to find out what the heck did you guys do here to make this work?
Yeah, the stuff that's in code that like, again, you can't plan around unless you start thinking, programmers would have needed to write some code support to make sure these games keep earning on location. So they might see, oh, if this switch is bad, and this switch is bad, and this switch is bad, we know what's going on, we can work around that. And they can do that in a code update and then let the game keep earning for the vendors or operators and stuff like that. So that kind of stuff we don't know until they put these kits in, and we find out that the programmer who was writing this conversion kit new game had a perfectly tuned game, but then they go take these games, these boards with the code, and put it in games that have never played right, but the owner never knew they played right. They just went in and hit the blinky lights and stuff. So it's been really great seeing the supporting, the support groups around these people putting these kits in, because you find that like, you know, oh, these games that are missing diodes present issues this way. And so now as we see that and we see it happen again and again, now it's like, okay, go and check these things right away. So I actually had a guy come up earlier and says, okay, I'm hoping to get this Rudy's Nightmare kit soon. What can I be doing right now? And I said, get that game working perfectly. You know, go through all your switch tests, coil tests, look at everything, and actually make sure it's great, because if you put this into a game that plays like crap, it's gonna play a different kind of crap. And that's something that's worth tuning up right now. So, yeah, I mean, we're even seeing like switch issues, where like the original game, it didn't matter how the switches were wired. But when the new game code was depending on these 2 switches acting in a specific way, then people were finding that like, oh, my switches are just wired differently. It passed QC testing in the factory originally, and it went through. But it's definitely been cool to see like all the different things that have popped up. And even when we get talking about, we're like, why could this guy have this actual issue? And Dave will look at it and be like, that could be diodes, that could be a problem. And we get down that path and we find like, yeah, these games are missing diodes all over the place. And so I love it when there's a rhyme or reason to it, you know? And that's cool to see, but like, you know, this guy knows how that stuff works, and I just present, here's what I think is happening, and then he actually knows what's happening, so. I don't know, 2.0 kits are cool.